All right, what's going on, everyone? Somebody but nobody here. Excuse the mustache. I got to shave. I was watching a video. I don't know if any of you ever watch Matt Dillahunty or you watch like debates and other things like that. But I watched this video and there is one thing that I cannot wrap my mind around. And this is why I'm so on the fence about if there is a God or some kind of intelligence or a creator or there's not. Here's the one thing that keeps me questioning or not calling myself an atheist or someone that thinks there is a God. Okay, in order to have a baby, a man and a woman have to have sex, and there needs to be a penis and a vagina. We all know that. And the baby has to come out of the mother, and the baby has to be raised by the parents to survive. So these guys were asked, where did the first baby come from? You know, this is something that we never really ask or we really think about. Where did the first baby come from? A baby cannot raise itself up, and if it came from a mother, then the mother was once a baby, so how did the mother come up? You see, this is where it makes no sense. This is where anybody, atheists, agnostics, I don't care what you are. I don't know all the terms in my mind. I don't care what you are. We cannot get past this thing. We just can't do it. If you go back, way back in time, and you just keep going back, where did the first baby come from? It makes no sense. And then I said this in my other video, evolution is nonsense, and I have another one. And listen, I'm not saying that I know everything, y'all. I'm not saying that I am some intelligent being that knows everything, because I don't. I don't know everything. But I just cannot say that there isn't a God or there is a God. That would be foolish of any of us to say that. Even if you think that there is a God, I really want you to ask yourself these questions. It may drive you crazy thinking about them, and there may be no reason for you to ask yourself this, but just these guys cannot answer this question at all. Then they say something like, we came from apes and evolved from apes. Well, then where did the first ape come from? Where did the first baby ape come from? It just didn't turn into an ape, and then a mother ape had the ability to make babies from the male having sex with it. How did the first male come about with a penis? And how did the first woman come about with a vagina? This is where I just cannot say that there isn't something that made this or brought this about. And I necessarily don't believe in, the God of the Bible and everything that it says in there. I don't think all of that is real. I think a lot of that was written by man. I don't know. It may have been inspired by God, and God may have wrote that. I don't know, but I don't think so. And we're just so ignorant. A lot of us are so ignorant, and we don't want to talk about these type of things. And sometimes we may not even have to talk about them, but I think it's better that we do, so that we have an understanding of a lot of things, because we don't want to admit that we're wrong. We don't want to admit that we made a mistake or we failed or we don't know everything. Everyone is so scared to say they don't know, that they don't have an answer for something. And it's just this baby thing I just can't get over. I just can't get over it. You know, they're on there saying that the apes, like I just said, that the apes formed and then we came from these apes. Well, if that's the case, then where did the first baby ape come from? A child, a baby that comes out of a mother. It cannot come up on its own. It can't. It's impossible with nature. It can't raise itself. So how did the first mother raise itself up? How? How did it raise itself up? Think about this. And then we say, oh, well, we came from this cell and the child came about from a tadpole or some other stuff that they say. I don't know the exact terms they use for some of this stuff. And I don't know everything about everything that these men have invented and brought up in their own minds, their own imaginations. But this is the one thing that really, I just can't get out of my mind. And I say, there just has to be, even though I don't know. I tell myself, there just has to be something that is somewhere that is more intelligent, that is a designer, that brought these things about. You know, I just can't look at our human consciousness and this squirrel out here going to get the nuts and making a nest, and the grass growing and the sky, our atmosphere, and the moon, and buildings being built, and humans reproducing, and women's breasts growing, and men and women going through puberty, and so many things. How can we just think that this just came about naturally? You know, I'm all for natural stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for nature and natural things. But I don't stand for foolishness and I don't stand for ignorance. But I don't know. With this right here, with this mind that I have, I don't know. And you don't really know. You can assume and think that you know, but God, if there is a God, has never talked to you. God has never came to you and said, I am the creator. I am God. I am the one that made all this, and I give you free will. You know, God has never done that. There is no evidence for God at all. There's no evidence. You know, we can think what we want to think, but we do not know. And you know, if there is a God, I think this is the most intelligent way of going about it, is saying that we don't know and asking questions instead of just believing in something. You know, this is why I always do that when I go believe, because how many of us, we just believe anything because we believe it, because we say it's so. And this is the ignorance of all of us. And there's a lot of other topics on this, but this is the main one that has me stumped and floored. This is the one that I cannot get past, is where the first baby came from. It has to come from a mother. A baby has to come out of a mother. So where was the first mother? Where did she come from? How did it just raise itself and come up without a mother? It can't do it. It's impossible. And anyone that says it is possible or it can happen, they're liars. It cannot happen. It just cannot happen, y'all. And I don't think a lot of people are really understanding what I really mean. If you go the whole way back to where the first person came about, it had to be a baby at one time, and there was nothing there to take care of it, or to raise it, or to nurture it, or to feed it. A baby just can't come up in nature. with it being cold or laying on the ground and walking around or anything. It can't even move when it's first born. It can't go out and eat grass on the ground or go and find its own food or any of that. It just cannot do it. And this is how I think this is really stupid when they say about this evolution stuff. I don't go for that at all. I don't think that things change over time. To me, humans have always been humans. Apes have always been apes. Lizards have always been lizards. Water has always been water. Rubber has always been rubber. There may be things that might change the chemistry of stuff, but not living things, like creatures. So that's just something to think about. I know a lot of what I say and do, it may drive people's minds crazy. I understand that. But I think a lot of us, we just think that we know what we know because we want to know. And our pride and ego won't let us open up and really listen to others and really think about this stuff, I like doing this. I like talking about things that I don't know. It's like a mystery that I go for figuring out, even though I know I'm never going to figure it out, because no human ever has. And how many humans have been here and died and been here and passed away and been here and they're not here no more? Thousands of years we have been asking these questions and there is no answer. That's the thing. There is no answer. We can debate our entire lives and there is no answer. So that's why I did my video, There Is No Answer, because there ain't no answer. We can think that we know everything in all this, but we don't. So that's it for that. And I know there's so many people out here that they will answer with some ignorant answer, saying something that they think they know and all that. I really don't want to hear that in the comments. If you're going to put a comment down, put something that is logical, that is common sense. I don't want to hear this stuff about what you think that you know and all that, and you say that you have an answer, because you don't have an answer. So don't give me that crap. I'm not the one to do that with. I do this to talk about it, debate it, and think about it, because I think it can help a lot of us in our lives to be more creative and to get out of ourselves. I think too many of us, we're so stuck in our thoughts and we're so stuck in thinking that we're right and saying, I know everything. You can't tell me anything. Who are you? And I think that is the wrong way to go about it. But everyone's going to go about it their own way. So I can't change humans. But that's it. That's all I got for now. Yeah, just think logically. That's all I can say. Be aware and think logically. If we were all aware and we thought logically, the world would not be like it is. All the bad stuff you see, it's because someone has an ideology or someone thought that if they did something that they would be praised or worshiped or acknowledged for it. And look at all these dictators, because of these delusions of grandeur in their own minds, what they did to people. This is what I tell you not to do. I tell you not to do these things. That's why I say get rid of it all. Empty your mind out and start over every day and say you don't know. And then we can be humane to each other and we can ask each other questions and we can debate and talk about this. You see? That's what makes life great when we do that, So with that, I'm out, y'all. Somebody but nobody. The SBN lifestyle. Only human. Later.